All right, so this is going to be rationalizing the denominator part 2. Now, there is a difference between that first video and this one. All right, there is not just a single square root or a root in my denominator. Instead, now I have two terms. I have 6 minus the square root of 5. So when we do this, this is called rationalizing, we have to multiply by our conjugate. So that's why we started that one of those earlier videos as to how to multiply by the conjugate. Now remember, the conjugate is going to be everything is exactly the same except for that operation in between. So in this case, it went from a minus to a plus. All right. Now, if I multiply my denominator, I have to do the exact same thing to my numerator. Now, if we do this properly, my denominator is actually going to be pretty easy to get. I'm going to multiply my firsts and my lasts. So 6 times 6 is 36. A positive and a negative is a negative, and this becomes square root of 5 times 5. All right. So I already know that my denominator is going to be 36 minus 5. All right, that's pretty quick. Now my numerator is going to be a little bit more work. I have to multiply 7 times 6, 7 times square root of 5, square root of 5 times 6, square root of 5 times square root of 5. Now from here, I'm going to do some simplifying. I can see that there's some square root of 5s that I can combine. So this is 42 plus 13 square root of 5. Now, as you can see, this is a square root of 5 times 5. It's a set of 2s. It's a set of 2. I'm going to go ahead and just write that as 5 now. That's what I did on my denominator as well. I noticed that it was a square root of 5 times 5. That's a set of 2 numbers that are exactly the same. So I can write that as just a 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my last part, which is adding these two terms together. So this becomes 47 plus 13 square root of 5. My denominator becomes 31. And I can leave it like that. One thing that we always do want to check, though, if we can simplify these three numbers. If it's possible, we will. If not, we won't. So I'm going to leave it just like this, 47 plus 13 square root of 5 all over 31. That's how you can rationalize your denominator when there's not just a single root. Instead, you have two terms, like in this case.